Hey y'all, I'm Task Force Bourbon. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Weller Foolproof, the 2020 release. As you all probably already know, Weller is a wheated bourbon named after William Larue Weller. He's a distiller, is credited as being the first to use wheat as a secondary grain of bourbon as opposed to the more commonly used rye. Notably, William Larue Weller hired the famous Julian Pappy Van Winkle. Pappy's history is long. We won't get into that today, but in 1935 he merges his company with Weller's company to create the Stitzel-Weller Distilling Company. That company created the Weller brand, but that was sold several times after 1972. Since 1999, the brand has been owned by Sazerac Company. As we know, they own Buffalo Trace. In 2002, Pappy's grandson, Julian, entered into a contract with Buffalo Trace and moved his inventory of barrels with him to where they became the first Buffalo Trace bottlings of Weller and Pappy. Obviously, that stock eventually ran out, and Buffalo Trace owned wheated bourbon began to fill the bottles we know and love today. In June 2019, Buffalo Trace launched Foolproof, which joins the Weller family lineup, including Special Reserve, Old Weller Antique, OWA, 12-year, Create Your Own Perfect Bourbon, and Single Barrel. That lineup obviously also includes William Larue Weller, but that's considered part of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. It's got its own label design and bottling. Foolproof is released annually in the summer. Now, unlike William Larue Weller, that foolproof moniker doesn't mean bottled at barrel proof, right? It means instead that it's bottled at the same 114 proof in this case that was the same original distiller entered into the barrel. As a side fun fact, OWA was previously unofficially considered foolproof back when it was initially created for the same reasons, however at the 107 proof we know and love. Buffalo Trace decided that Foolproof would be non-chill filtered so as to, quote, preserve all the naturally occurring residual oils and flavors. Although non-age stated, it is estimated to be around 6 to 8 years old. So I'll get into the tasting now. I've already done that, so I'll surmise it as best I can for you. The nose is full of caramel and vanilla, which doesn't exactly carry over into the palate. Not to say that those flavors are absent, but they're there. The open, just to remind myself instead, is cherry and dark chocolate forward. You get a lot of cherry, a lot of dark chocolate right off the bat. All right. On that open, sort of transitioning into the mid, goes a nice toasted oak, which where you see the first signs of wheat. They're very brief, very flash, but very quickly you get a creme brulee note that, like on the open, kind of transitions into the finish. It picks up and overpowers those notes very quickly. That strong, burnt, brown sugar kind of flavor coming through, which helps that nice charred oak flavor that you get on the finish pick up. So that toasted oak you taste it in the mid, goes quickly into the charred oak. That's probably something to do with the non-chill filtered, probably something to do with the proof. But you get a lot of that charred oak. It's a touch tannic, unfortunately. Not to say that that's bad, but it's a little tannic. But it does finish well. It melds the earlier sweeter flavors all together and ends really well. So I do recommend this bottle. Unfortunately, not at the secondary prices that you probably find it for. I would buy this, at a discounted price frequently. But I still think OWA is my favorite. I'd have to do a blind fight, which I will, to test that out. But cheers.